We're making a gift to the United States. They came along and they said, we want to make it the White House overall, more secure. And I understand that. Not for me, because I'll be gone. I'll be gone and you'll have somebody else in for hopefully hundreds of years. But that's what they're doing it for. The ballroom is paid for. It's a gift.
Is it a gift, or do they expect something in return? Well, wait till you find out how much those companies giving to the ballroom got in return from our government. To tell us that is Elliot.
All right, well, according to an analysis by Public Citizen, corporate donors to Trump's White House ballroom have received $50 billion in government contracts since the East Wing was demolished. We currently know of 27 corporate donors to the ballroom. What we do not know is how much they actually donated, but it would seem that over half of those corporations got a pretty sweet deal on their investment, so good for them. 14 out of 27 corporate ballroom donors have received new or increased government contracts over the last 6 months, totaling over $50 billion. So most of that money went to Lockheed Martin, which landed over $43 billion in government contract money, but guess what? Don't worry, there's more corruption where that came from. Most of the corporate donors, 16 out of 27, are facing federal enforcement actions and or have had federal enforcement actions suspended by the Trump administration. These include major antitrust actions or merger reviews involving Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, NextEra Energy, Nvidia, T-Mobile, and Union Pacific. Labor rights cases involving Amazon, Apple, Caterpillar, Google, Lockheed, and Meta, and SEC matters involving Coinbase and Ripple. Also adding to that list are some other donors you may or may not have heard of. There is BlackRock. Great. Comcast, little startup, and everyone's favorite company, Palantir, thank God. Now, here's how a White House spokesperson responded to Public Citizen's analysis. The same critics who are alleging fake conflicts of interest would also complain if American taxpayers were footing the bill for these long overdue renovations. The donors for the White House Ballroom project represent a wide array of great American companies and generous individuals, all of whom are contributing to make the people's house better for generations to come. Okay, thank goodness, because for a second there, it seemed a little bit corrupt. But now that they told us that it's just insane for us to even think that, I feel much better. And also the fact that they got super defensive and condescending about it gives me a lot of comfort. Cenk, what do you think?
Yeah, so first of all, let's note for the record that there's a classic Trump job, right? Destroy something and then try to figure out how to fix it later and then ask for credit. So that's Trump 101. Now, guys, we often point out coincidences when it comes to powerful lobbies. So here we go again. Now, is it possible that Lockheed Martin would have gotten another contract in that 6 months anyway? Yeah, it's definitely possible. They're a giant defense contractor. I get it, right? But so these guys put in collective $400 million, we think, and about half of them, so let's say about $200 million. They put in 200 million, those 14 companies on average, and then they get back 50 billion. Do the math on it. Is this complicated? And at the same time, federal enforcement actions are suspended. Probably a coincidence. And that's what drives me crazy about our media overall. Less so in this story, because this one's so over the top and doesn't really involve any other institutional players as much. It's just mainly a Trump thing. Oh, I like these guys who want a big ballroom. Oh yeah, oh they got problems. We make their problems go away, right? And we'll give them more. But is it worth it to us to build out Ballroom? Because it turns out it's not gonna cost $400 million. They asked for another billion that we pay for. And now it looks like we're paying another 50 billion on top to the guys giving the money to the Ballroom. No, it's not a coincidence. It's massive corruption. Brett.
It's crazy, yeah, we had a ballroom. That's the thing that's so crazy about it. I feel like my parents, like, don't you have a ballroom? I'm not gonna get you a new one, stop asking for one. So he just destroyed the old ballroom and made it so that there is now an opportunity to make him a new one. And both ways you look at it, it's nuts. Like they're just asking for donations. It's just gifts. It's like, guys, gifts are bribes. That's what gifts are. Like there are many, the word gift is in many anti-bribery laws. I could say emoluments, but I don't want to confuse you. I love Palantir, by the way. Palantir, thanks for watching everything.
Huge fan.
A huge fan. Thanks for huge fans. They watch everything. They watch
already watching.
Yeah, they're watching sleep. But like, yeah, that's nuts. And I love that they were like, oh, but no, now it's not the taxpayers. Whether you look at it as $50 billion or all that money in donations, which they're not just doing it out of the goodness of their heart, or if the taxpayers are paying for it for reasons still unknown to me, like, oh, we need to make it more secure in the ballroom. It's obviously just like everything that is it's puzzling because it's like, that's kind of what his pitch was. And everybody's like, oh, Trump, we love Trump, we love him. Why do you love him? Describe him. Well, he's the guy that's gonna try to make millions of dollars however he can, whether it's corrupt or not. In this case, it's just so damn corrupt that even I was watching with Sean Ryan was saying like, I'm out. A lot of people are like, they're out on this guy, and that's the only silver lining as far as I know.
Yeah, I feel like my episode with Sean Ryan didn't get enough credit because this is a hilarious thing to say. Let's note for the record. Megyn Kelly went on and they quoted Sean Ryan saying all these things against MAGA and Trump and all stuff. When I was on, he called MAGA people that are still following Trump the R word. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, what do you not have eyes? Do you not see all the things that are going wrong? How he's listening to all the every donor there is, and he's massively corrupt. Yeah, this is not complicated, man. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out. Look, I don't know what your plans are for the summer, but if you're still paying Verizon or AT&T tons of money for your phone plan, you should stop. Really, stop right now. My friend Andrew Yang, the guy behind Universal Basic Income, launched a phone company, and he's basically giving money away. He loves to do that. Seriously, it's been a total game changer for me. I use it. Here's the deal. If you sign up right now, new customers get the first 3 months completely free. No tricks, no catch. The whole summer, totally free. That's money you can spend doing things you actually enjoy, like going to the beach, going to a concert, grabbing ice cream with your friends, whatever you want. Not convinced? Here's the cherry on top. Noble Mobile actually pays you to use your phone less. The less data you use, the more cash back you get right into your account. So not only are the first 3 months free, but the 4th month could be super cheap too with all the cash back you've gotten in the first 3 months. And don't worry, you're still getting great, reliable coverage on T-Mobile's 5G network. I'm telling you, this deal is too good to pass up. Stop throwing money away. Do yourself a favor and let Noble Mobile pick up the tab for your summer plans. Why spend your summer doom scrolling when you can be out having fun? So make this switch today at tyt.com/switch. That's tyt.com/switch.
Yeah, I also think that even if you, like you were saying earlier, Cenk, even if you can't necessarily like pin down that this is a result of them making those donations, whether it's correlation or causation, it still speaks to how the American public is like hyper aware right now of just how much corruption is going on, and that's what's going on in their imagination. And so them trying to backpedal and pretend as though there's no reason to even think such a thing blows my mind. It's just another example of them being like, yes, we believe you're all very stupid, basically.
Ew. Like with Trump, we have him on the phone being like, I am losing by 11,000 votes. Can I have 11,001 votes? Like I watch The Sopranos and it's always like, can I get the coffee delivered in pounds to the guy with the shirt? That is like, and they're like, oh, I guess we can't lock you up. But like Trump is actually saying, I want you to give me money for this stuff. It's gonna be donated to me. Meanwhile, like the corruption is insane. On Rebel HQ this week, I covered the story of all the corruption, the Sean Ryan stuff that he was talking about. But like the lengths of the corruption that they go for corruption, the Trump kids have a drone company. They're getting contracts to sell drones. Their dad's in charge of whether you still need drone interceptors because his dad's in charge of whether the war will continue. And to make matters worse, to incorporate that company so they could do business, they merged a drone company with the only other thing they really know, a golf course company.
It's kind of beautiful.
It's beautiful. A golf course company can make drone interceptors because of how corrupt America is right now. It's disgusting.
No, to be fair, they're practicing on the golf courses. They've murdered 13 people so far, mainly the back 9.
A whole new definition, the bunker.
Oh, okay, but yeah, those bunkers aren't going to help you from the drugs. All right, look, last couple of things on the corruption. To Brett's point, Eric Trump's company got $1.5 billion contract from the government. Imagine if Hunter Biden's company got a $1.5 billion contract. Don Jr.'s is arguably worse. He invested 3 months later. They got a $620 million loan. Okay, so where's our loans? I mean, imagine if I went to the White House. I'm like, yeah, I'd like a $620 million loan. Sure, yeah, I'm gonna make drones, right? I'm gonna make them after you give me the $620 million because I don't have the money now. None of us have the money to make it. If any one of us got $620 million, then we can make all the drones you want, right? So this is insane corruption. And by the way, the donors to the ballroom might also get plaques. I don't want a plaque of Lockheed Martin in the ballroom and Miriam Adelson, that's another potential donor, and Pfizer. This is an ExxonMobil inside the White House. Come on, man, it's totally nuts. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.